As you can see, the Mantis is back on the bench, and this time we are making some really big moves. Our Mantis is really evolving. I think we make some serious progress. The episodes are following each other really fast, and that is because the chassis rails left to the carbon cutter, so it's time to get this guy completely dialed in. Since the last time you saw him, a lot has changed under the skin of this guy. I tackled the front end and we reworked the links to get a better geometry and more clearance. And then of course you have to revisit the overall shock setup, the overall suspension setup. We had to dial in the angles of the shocks again. I think where we landed now is going to give us more control on the rocks. The main thing we did on the front is shortening up the lower links. Those are 9mm shorter, and then the upper links, which you can maybe see just a little bit, are like, well, they are 13mm shorter, but then when figuring out the geometry we had to use a different hole, which means they are actually 10mm shorter. Yeah, if you understand, it's a different hole, so 9mm, which isn't actually 9mm because they are on an angle, so it's not really 9mm shorter, but more like 7.5 because they are on an angle. These ones are straights, so these 10 compared to these 9 is a bigger number. Okay, I think as it sits now with this setup, it's gonna kill my rocks. I actually hope, but I feel like this setup is gonna kill all my rocks. It's gonna kill all my lines. But yeah, that's for future me to find out. I can put pressure on future me, but I'm almost sure that's what's gonna happen. If you are on the bottom, you can see we have another servo. The OCS servo was a little underwhelmed, so we took it out. It was actually, the Goat tires were too much for the OCS servo. Now this one, I don't know which camera is going to show it best. It is like 1mm above the axle line, and that's only because we spaced it out. I don't know if you can see it, but we spaced it up, and it actually doesn't look too bad. It's a Yipping 70 kg servo, which is in here for now because we have ordered another Yantris as a half height, the same one we use in Tsunami. There's also version 2 of the sliders installed over here right now. As you can see, they also have some gaps for a tie wrap or a strip to keep the battery down. The battery is still Velcro down, but we also have a strap now. So that's nice. Version 3 of the sliders is already on the printer, and maybe it's even printed right now, which is actually gonna be more slick because we don't really need this 3mm edge right here. It's also gonna cut this corner a little bit because on full lock we touch the slider, so we are just taking a little bit of it. That will be really nice, and this version is already rather good. Now that version worked until we shortened up the front. Yeah, so one solution leads to another problem. There's another milestone, well, maybe not exactly for us because we are not doing competition comps, but for people who want to build to competition rules, they need to have a wheelbase on a Sportsman which is maximum 12.5 inches. Well, that's what we have established by shortening the front. When it's when I don't know exactly how the rules are. How do you measure the wheelbase? Is it with the shocks completely extracted? Because then we are at 12 3/8, so that's under 12.5. If it is with the shocks completely compressed, at the moment we are at 12 9/16, which is just a tad above that 12.5. I can easily find 2 or 3 millimeters to shorten this up to the exact 12 12.5. I think one should measure it the way it sits, and then we are at just a hair under 12.5. Completely compressed, we are, yeah, a millimeter or two over. So for those who want to build a sportsman with the Mantis, that's no problem. As you can see, this guy can be used, this chassis can be used for a sportsman. I think the build is slowly turning into something really special, and I feel we took a really big step this time, and I hope it's gonna show on the rocks. It is now, however, really time to give him a body. We have the body here, but we need to make some body mounts and get it completely lined up really nice. I think we are good on the slider part. As you can maybe see, the width is okay. I wanted the beetle for a long time, so this one is going to be that beetle. Why do I want a body? That's because this guy here, the spur gear, that has seen more abuse than it's good for it, and it's actually rather unbelievable that it still works and still is that silent. So it is a really good machined Delrin spur. I ordered from AliExpress, and in the next order I'm gonna have a bunch of those. I think I ordered 84s, 87 and a few more 90s. Now 90, as you can maybe see, is actually the maximum for this Creeper T forward motor mount. There's a hair light between there, like, yeah, half a millimeter, so I can't go any bigger than this. As I've mentioned before, these Goat tires, well, they can become his day-to-day tire, or maybe not, but at the moment he's doing really great on it. We have these straight axles, and I think these tires really help the straight axles. They take the straight axles and the build overall to a higher level. So for now we're gonna keep the goats and see if the goats can do goat things on our rocks and eat them all. I think we're gonna close the inside portion over here. That things don't need to take all that long. We have said what we wanted to say. It was told in a few minutes. It was like 3 or 4 hours work, but I hope outside we will see it was worth it. So without further ado, let's find out on the rocks if we managed to achieve what we think we have achieved. See you outside. So here we are for the outside part. It's a lovely overcast day in Belgium, and as you can see, the whirlpool is set up, the jacuzzi, so the missus is happy, and as we all know, happy wife, happy life. Now, if you're wondering why this sounds like a voice-over, that is because it is a voice-over. You can guess twice who forgot to activate the mic when he was walking outside. Yep. And so this is future me's problem. Looking at what past me was doing. Well, we are going slow with the... Let me get that on a big screen, because I'm watching myself now how I was driving. So I have it on a big screen now, and I can watch while I record my voice. I was the first pull of doubler on the new geometry, which is a really easy pull. Second pull also on a no steer input action, just pull straight up. And as you can see, the new geometry does not affect the compliance overall flex of the chassis. Going down into the corkscrew, there's a little lift on the rear, as you will see in a second. Yeah, so it's like looking in a glass bowl. We can see the future. Well, I already know the future. There's no lift of the passenger front tire, so the shorter wheelbase and the more skid forward approach does not negatively affect how composed he is. Taking steepy with no problems. I'm surprised it keeps steepy completely in the picture, because most of the time I'm driving out of the picture here. slow descent, descending still going good. That mainly is because we added some brass hangers in the rear. Someone on Discord suggested those for the 10 Pro axles, so yeah, we put them on, and yeah, they seem to help. I think they are like 64-65 grams each. I took a brass piece of the axle, so I think we gain net like 100 grams. What are we doing here? We are driving up to ledge, taking ledge after ledge. There is sometimes a tiny bit of slip of the front wheels, but the rear wheels just keep on pushing, or pulling in this case, when we are going downhill into off camber and then the reverse corkscrew. That's strange. I usually film this approach from the other side. That's probably done this way to upgrade my driver mod. And then, yeah, as you can see, as it is now, it is in sportsman properties, as well the width as the lengthy wheelbase. This guy with the new sliders, just, yeah, you can point and shoot. It is strange to see myself drive and give comments, because most of the time it's, well, normally editor just has to see. I'm also watching, so I'm a viewer and a commentator and a driver. I'm three things at the same time. Oh, lovely. 4 wheels on the ground in maximum flex. I think here is a point where I mention the combo of the motor and the ESC, electronic speed controller, which in this case is a V80 and a Rhino S12. The V80 is also a Rhino, but it must be by far my favorite ESC. It's not the smallest one, but it has a 10 amp BEC, and yeah, you can really go really slow. Or this motor, the S12, I love the S12 because it is so tiny. It's 24 or 25 millimeters, so it's a really small can. That outrunner, and that allows you to, yeah, it fits in a lot of gearboxes. This is where I show how slow you can go. You can even go slower. On cruise control I can give him like 10% throttle, and then you barely see him move. Okay, that was the easy lines part. Time to see what we actually have now, because the last time we tested the Goat tires, I believe there's a video out on the Goat tires. If you haven't seen that, I was tested on Mantis. It started to rain, and then I was kind of in a hurry to do the things, and some lines didn't work. We just saw the left hand side approach on Plum, which is easy, but then the right hand side approach on Plum, I was it didn't work. I was not patient enough, and then there was more rain and I wanted to do more lines. So here I'm taking my time a little bit more. I do it with a real sportsman-like kind of vehicle, and as you can see, it's just slow crawling up there, maybe a little bit of pepper, and then then we're just up there. So yeah, it's a collaboration in this case. Can I say this about this build? It's the tires with the inserts, it's the chassis, it's the geometry. What we see in front of us, it's better than the sum of all the parts. So the collaboration is really awesome. This is also one of the slider lines, which we could not do. The new sliders just they do what sliders are supposed to do, so no worries there. And then we stand still for a moment, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Probably, let's see if we can do the tsunami line. Yeah, that looks like a question. Can we do the tsunami line with this guy? Yeah, so let's give it a go. Same approach as always on Plum. Try to pull left, we got to get the driver tire over, and yeah, just as I see it now, you wonder, yeah, well, what's so difficult on this line? Well, I challenge you, come over here with your rig and try that line. Yeah, so I'm really happy. Probably I'm really happy that I did that line just like that. Okay, so what am I debating about? Time for the next line. Yeah, what am I saying? Am I redoing this one? Oh, it's a different approach. Yeah, it's more to the left hand side, which is actually really difficult, because as you can see, rear links are on the rocks. But we want to see what we have. Does the chassis and the Goat tires, the collaboration of those two, do they allow for Mantis to pull a new line? That would be really something. Can we now pull a new line? Oh, it's so close. It was barely there. And then also over here, seeing this, I'm wondering if I. Yeah, it keeps on. Oh, so close. I don't think it's gonna be. Are we gonna try again? This complete left-hand side approach. The passenger rear needs to get over. No, it's so close. We are doing our best. But seeing this footage, I think I might create a little bit more clearance with the lower rear links, giving them an extra bend. And there he goes. This is our Mantis line. Yep, we got a Mantis line. So, well, if we give the rear links an extra bend, we also will need to work with an how does it call, with two rear axles, with an axle carrier to bring the axle also to the top of the rig, but then the CG also goes up. So I'm not sure, because yeah, I believe I put them on the scales and it was a really nice even. Yeah, what are we doing here? Bad approach. Let's try it again. Another bad approach. Trying to do the face. And still driving with that uncovered spur gear. Oh, well, I've got to say, you might gonna see that a couple more times in this video. This guy is really controllable and catchable. So I don't think I landed on the spur in this video or today. Again, a bad approach. We need to upgrade the driver mod, because this is of course now a shorter vehicle, which might need some other approaches on some lines. Now on the face, I think we pull this one off. Yeah. No worries there anymore. Here he is to the outside. Sliders are both okay now, so also that is no longer a problem. Then we go into wall side, which is our typical test of the can we pull. Of course, it's the pumpkin always hanging up on that rock. Yeah. The goats have enough in them to pull the pumpkin out. I'm still debating on a pumpkin slider for the 10 Pro axles. Maybe it exists. Maybe I need to search before I make it myself. Maybe I can just buy a pumpkin slider, because the bolts are actually on the wrong side. So, well, the bolts are good if you want to attach a pumpkin slider. Again on the face. What are we doing this time? Trying to do the left hand side, and bang. Yeah, so we did drop on the spur. That Delrin spur is really something. I've ordered new ones today in different teeth count. I got a what's plural? Tooth or teeth? Well, we want to try to do the tsunami line which is the one on the left hand side. But I think I already went way too far to the right hand side, way too far to the passenger side. So now we really have to struggle to get him back over. And that mainly is, I barely dare to say it, but because the Goat tires have too much grip in this case. Now that's not really something to complain about. What else can I say? That Yipin 70 kg servo is really doing the thing. And we slide more to the driver's side. Do we get there? It's actually just hanging on passenger side. Driver's side is working, and the rig is on there. Really nice, really nice. And since I do have the car next to me here. Yeah, wait a second. Hold that thought. I think I'm trying the third Mantis, the third Tsunami line on here, because we had some kind of Mantis line, but it was a really easy approach. I tried it with other vehicles later on. It was really too easy. So now I wanted to try with the new geometry, with the more skid forward, if we could do the line Tsunami found, just straight up the face. And as you can see, we can do it, but then we need to take a little reverse because we got the front axle in that stone. So I just can't believe it. This whole thing falls together like a perfect puzzle. I landed on something, and it's just so lovely. Now I think this is where we already have some commentary. This is where I found out the mic was not working, so I'm gonna stop talking right now, because it does. Yeah, but then the driver is not completely accommodated to that line. So yeah, what is that to say? Well, I just put the microphone in, so at least this last bit will be on a good sound quality. But yeah, future me, editor me, will find out if the rest is BS and I will need to redo it, or, and again, let's see, slider on this stone was a problem. No longer. That's just does what sliders do. It's a slider thing. Yeah, so let's go into these bunkering in tire part. I think I didn't mention what the wheel width was, and we ended up on 250, which is I think just under 10 inch, and 260, which is close to 10.5 inch on the front. So I don't know what the regulations are for width for a sportsman. I don't know any of the regulations, but yeah, I think this is what could be considered to be a good chassis to build whatever you want. You can build a 330 rig, you can build a sportsman. I think I'm going to use this one also for another build, maybe even a hard body build. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble too long anymore. Next episode, I hope he has a body. We will just drive around a little bit, because if this was the test, then he was I think he's got a AAA grade, because yeah, whatever I asked and more, he did it. So if you are interested in the Mantis, want to know more, please comment below and I will respond. You can also PM me if you have more questions. If you want to order one, that's also possible. Just find me on Discord or Messenger or wherever. Put a note down and I will respond. So for now, I think this is all that needs to be said about our new chassis, which is called Mantis, if you haven't picked that up yet. So nothing more to say then. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye. Yeah, little bonus material after the end of the video, because I remembered when I was back in the shed, there was a line which I wanted to see if it was not a fluke, and it was this line. Let's go back and return. Maybe it needs to be taken slower. Yeah, he needs to do it again. If he wants if he wants his name tag on it, he needs to do it again. And I don't know exactly how I did approach it. I think it was something like this. And then we pulled somewhere over here, I believe. Was it more straight up, or I think it was like this. Yes, something like this. Yep. And now very slowly keep the wheels down, because we want to get that rear over, that passenger rear. That's the one that needs to work really hard, and it slid away. It was really close. We will try it again. Yeah, like this. Oh, that says a lift he hasn't done before. Probably the front bunkered in. Yeah, but that's not, well, we haven't seen anyone do this line. I don't want to, this servo can take a lot more abuse. Haven't seen anyone do this line, but that's not the line we are here for. The guy is running Goat tires, but instead of the Mantis, I'm going to end up calling him the Goat. Well, that would be, you can't say the Goat about yourself or your own rigs. That somebody else needs to say that. I don't know if I need to drive slower or faster. It's really strange that he's almost getting up here. Let's see how high we can get. Wow, we have some links down there, because if we would not have that link in there, I think he would drive on the outside of this rock completely. Let's see how crazy we can get. It's incredible, the pulling force of that one tire. And he's catchable. Let's try it one more time. Man, he's so controllable. Somehow I have a magical collaboration between the shocks and the oil in the rear. But I thought the oil was gonna be way too soft, but as I see it now, they are responding fast enough, but also not too fast. Ah man, I was so close. Was so close. But it's crazy how you can manipulate him through these lines. Oh man, I was so close. So I can't give him that line because he did it once, but you should be able to do it more than once to get your name tag on there. I don't know what it is. And like this, he can drive over this ledge, which is also almost incredible. Let's pull him outside a little bit more and cut back. Doesn't really matter where he is, he just... Come on, come on. I almost had it. I almost had it. Not really watching the phone anymore, I'm watching the car. So it's not going to be center picture. And there he goes. This was just a little bit more wheel speed. Is that the key? Look how the goat tires are really smushing. They are so good. They are so good. We found, yeah, the magical. As you can see, those white hairs. We have a white cat. So yeah, he's been on these rocks. That's 2, but no 2 without 3. Yeah, it's you need that perfect. Hey, here he is, the white guy, leaving all the hairs behind. Wookie, Wookie. Yeah. Yeah, you need that little bit of wheel speed. So it's officially Mantis line. We did it 3 times. All right. You see what I mean? Why he's leaving his hairs over here? A little white tiger. His name is Wookie. His name is Wookie, but he also reminds us of Master Shifu. Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda. Master Shifu. Wookie. Wookie. Master Shifu. Yeah.